Evaluating PR campaigns is difficult. Marketing managers spend huge amounts of time and effort, but when the order arrives, it's always the sales team that gets the glory. This video explains different approaches to demonstrating the impact of PR, and it concludes that you might already know the best way to evaluate your results. PR professionals talk about outputs, outtakes, and outcomes. Measuring outputs, such as the number of press releases issued, is meaningless unless the releases generate coverage. So the press clippings book is perhaps the simplest way to evaluate the outputs. It's fairly easy to see the volume of coverage and to make an estimate of the quality. It's hard to estimate the number of people who see online coverage because publishers don't release the views for specific pages. So online reach has to be estimated based upon overall site traffic. Many studies have shown that marketing messages must be communicated several times if they're to have any impact. So opportunities to see is a more effective way of measuring how many of the target audience will see the campaign's message. Share of voice takes a simple approach. Rather than setting a bottom-up goal for outputs, it simply benchmarks the campaign against those of the competitors. Share of voice can be measured in specific publications, which allows evaluation of the outputs in the most influential media channels. PR costs money, so it's natural that companies would like to calculate a value for the results it achieves. Studies have shown that PR is more effective than advertising, so multiples of the rate card cost are sometimes used to create what's called the advertising value equivalent, or AVE. But AVE is considered a poor measure because PR simply isn't advertising and there's no assessment of quality. AVE, however, is still used in the PR industry, even though we know we shouldn't, just because it's convenient. Editorial impact measurement is a more valued way of measuring PR activities. It looks at several factors including the credibility and relevance of the media and how many people in the target audience would see the coverage. It uses a scoring system and it can provide an insight into whether the campaign is getting more or less effective. It can be difficult to measure the impact of a PR campaign in B2B technology, but using the editorial impact measurement will give you a better insight on how successful you've been. And finally, having specific objectives can allow you to move from graphs and numbers to talking about real-world business objectives. The more closely you can link your evaluation to the objectives of the company, the more likely you are to convince the CEO that your campaign worked and that you did a great job. I hope this video has helped to give you some insight into the approaches to effectively measure PR. To see more tip sheets, visit our website.